Hi there, friends. Oh, air conditioning just kicked on out here, but it's beautiful out here, and I just wanted to share with you what God was teaching me this morning from Luke 10:19. Now, Jesus is talking to his disciples, which means he's also talking to you and me because we are disciples of Jesus, right? He said, I have given you authority, or in other versions it says power, to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing will by any means harm you. Luke 10:19. So this verse, I've given you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, over all the power of the enemy. Nothing will by any means harm you. I studied it in the Strong's, and then I'm going to kind of show you like the meaning of this verse actually. But I studied some of the words in Strong's Concordance. When Jesus says, I've given you authority, it actually is a Greek word that means authority and power. That he has given us authority and power, which that word, authority and power, it means competency, it means delegated influence. Like God himself has delegated his power and authority and influence to you and me. Ability, force, the right, he's given us the right to use his strength. He's given us the privilege to use superhuman power is what it also means. So he's given us his delegated authority and power, the right to use his strength and superhuman power to trample on serpents, which means malicious lying spirits, and scorpions, which means piercing, stinging spirits. That kind of reminds me of like words, hurtful things that are done to you, even physical illnesses that are painful, anything that is painful. And then the serpents, the malicious lying spirits, would be like manipulative, controlling, very harsh, things done behind your back, things like that. But the word to trample on, it literally means to strike or crush with a single blow. So you can step on. It kind of it gives you this picture of you walking on a path and the enemy coming and trying to get in the way of you walking on God's path. But you just keep on walking. You just keep on walking. And it's like every step you are crushing a serpent, you are crushing a scorpion that wanted to get into your path to try to harm you, but you are literally stepping on them, striking them and crushing them with a single blow. So I've given you this authority and the power, the right to use God's ability, God's strength, superhuman power to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. So here's the word power again, which it is a different Greek word. It doesn't mean the power and authority of God, obviously, but the power of the enemy here, it means violence. Obviously, the enemy uses his power. He has some power, but he uses his power for violence, for force. He tries to force you. He uses a force, like even miraculous power, it means, and ability. So he does have a force or an ability, a power that's been allowed to him, but he does not have authority like we have. We have authority and power, and the power that we have is God's power, and the authority that we have is also Jesus' authority he's given to us. Nothing shall by any means harm you. This is a double negative, which means it is, in the Greek, it is a word that means very much so. Like there is no way. It's almost like never ever shall anything harm you. The enemy is never ever allowed to harm you. There's no way the enemy can hurt you. He is never ever allowed in any way to unjustly injure you, wrong you, harm you, hurt you, morally, socially, or physically. Morally, socially, or physically. Even sickness, even pain, even disease. Nothing shall by any means harm you. He is not allowed, and never ever in any way is he allowed. So it matters though that we believe this, because if we believe that the enemy's power is greater than our power, and if we believe that we don't have any authority over him, then we will allow everything that he tries to come and do in our lives. So the meaning of this verse here is that the enemy does have some power. He has the ability to do hurtful things if we let him, but he has no real authority. That authority is only given, which means the authority is only given to us by Jesus. Authority, he has no real authority or right to do these things. He has not been given the right to do these harmful things. Even though he has the power to do them, he does not have the authority or the right or the privilege given to him to do that. Jesus has given us his authority, which is the right to do miraculous works, the works of Jesus, and he's given us his power, which is his miraculous ability, his strength by the Holy Spirit living in us. His power and his authority to destroy completely the works of the enemy, to not allow, never ever allow them to harm us or our family anymore. So I hope that's encouraging to you. Jesus has given you power and authority to trample on and crush with a single blow all serpents and scorpions, lying spirits, and hurtful, painful spirits. And he's given you power and authority over all the force of the enemy. Everything that the enemy could try to do, nothing will by any means harm you. Never ever is the enemy allowed to harm you. So take your power and authority in the Lord today. Command the enemy to be crushed. Just walk on him and keep on walking. Just like step on him and keep on stepping. That's really my encouragement for you guys today. Let me know what you get out of that. Study that verse for yourself. Luke 10:19. It's so powerful. You really do have the right given you by God and the privilege given to you by God to completely annihilate the enemy and the works of the enemy in your life and in your family. Take care, you guys.